Let's be real. Finding a perfume that actually nails my new romantic goth vibe that I'm exuding is a special kind of hell, and not in the way one would hope. I'm hunting for something dark and complicated, something with a story, but every mainstream perfume just kinda sucks. It's too sweet, it's too simple, or it just smells like a high school prom queen's fever dream. I was trapped in this frustrating loop forever, trying to find a fragrance that felt like an extension of me, not just some random mist. I used to wear this amazing Tom Ford fragrance called Tobacco Vanille and another one called Noir Extreme, both very woodsy and oriental. Then I found an amazing fragrance house called Noise. Very interesting scents, but nothing that screamed at me like I wanted. They were all still very safe and slightly too sweet yet again. I wanted to smell like a crumbling castle library, a rain-soaked cemetery, or a forgotten love letter. You know, the usual. Now, I know that's a tall order for a perfume, but the department store counter, with its endless parade of fruity florals, just wasn't delivering. It felt like trying to find a Smith's record in the Taylor Swift aisle. It's just not going to happen. I needed a rule breaker, something that wasn't afraid to be dark and a little weird and beautiful in a way that might make some people uncomfortable. I was about to give up and resign myself to a life of smelling just okay, and then I happily stumbled upon Heretic Perfume. And the heavens, or maybe even the underworld, parted. Today, we're diving headfirst into the shadows to explore 3 of their most intoxicating scents: Haxon, Poltergeist, and Nosferatu. I'm going to explain to you why they all are perfect finishing touches for any self-respecting neo-romantic goth. Let's get loose. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Loose Lip Podcast. My name is Kelsey Ray, and I will be the MUA whose brain we will be picking today. Before we get into the smells, you have to understand why this brand hit me so hard. Heretic Perfume isn't just selling pretty scents. They're selling a whole philosophy. The founder, Douglas Little, named it Heretic because a heretic is someone who tells the mass market consensus to go take a hike. And that's the entire vibe of this brand. It's a full-on rebellion against the synthetic, squeaky clean filler that dominates modern perfume. Their whole motto is the dirty side of clean, which, let's be honest, is where all the fun is. They embrace the raw, messy beauty of nature. We're talking stems, roots, dirt, all the good stuff. They use 100% naturally derived botanical ingredients in organic sugarcane oil. And they're vegan and cruelty-free, which I know a lot of you out there are really all about. But this isn't just clean, like sterile and all the marketing. It's nothing close to that. It's clean like getting back to what's real, the earth, the decay, the beauty and things society wants to pave over. Sound familiar? Little sees fragrance as a wellness ritual that plugs us into the power of plants. This idea totally rewired my brain when I think about scent. Parfum is no longer the last boring step in getting ready. It was a deliberate act of wrapping myself in a story and an attitude for the day. This brand is for people who want a real signature scent and aren't afraid to take the weird, overgrown path to find it. Finding them made me feel finally understood with the scents that I wanted. Now, let's get into the juicy part, shall we? Haxon. First up is Haxon. The name alone is Swedish for the witch, and if that doesn't get your spooky little heart fluttering, I don't know what will. Instantly, you're in the world of spell casting and ancient secrets. Heretic calls it a parfum of spell work and shadow. And frankly, they're not wrong. It's presented like a magic potion, and after one sniff, you'll know why. Its construction is what tells the story. It stands on 3 pillars: fossilized amber, velvety osmanthus, and damp oak moss. Now, forget that warm, basic witch amber you're used to. This is ancient and mineralic. It smells like actual time, like you're holding a chunk of petrified resin that has seen some serious stuff. It gives the whole thing this sacred, mysterious vibe, like an artifact you'd swipe from a tomb. Then you get hit with that velvety osmanthus. This flower is so cool. It smells like a weird mix of apricot, leather, and tea. It adds this soft suede-like floral note that's romantic as hell, but with a hint of danger. This isn't some happy-go-lucky daisy. This is a flower with secrets, blooming at midnight in a garden you're not supposed to be in. Finally, the damp oak moss drags it all down to the forest floor. This note is earthy and green and smells exactly like moss-covered trees after a storm. It makes you feel like you're in a deep, secluded wood where the magic is so thick you can taste it. Put all these together, these notes are a literal spell book in a bottle. Wearing Hoxen is like wearing invisible magical armor. It doesn't need to shout for attention. It just hums with this ancient power and don't mess with me energy. It perfectly captures that magical nature worship side of the goth aesthetic. It's more than a perfume. It's a wearable spell. Poltergeist. This one is for all my fellow drama queens. It's a masterpiece of glorious, beautiful chaos. A poltergeist is a noisy ghost, and this fragrance more than lives up to its name. This ain't a whisper, y'all. It's a door slamming open. It's an arrival. It's a bold, unapologetic troublemaker, and I am so here for it. The creator said the inspiration was a memory of a campfire in a damp forest, hot and cold pockets of wooden air as you speed through along on your motorcycle, worn leather jackets, and a hint of motor oil. He wanted to capture that clash between the living forest and the ghost of smoke, and holy hell, he nailed it. This scent is a thrill ride between hot and cold, life and death. It kicks off with a blast of green, smoky energy from juniper and pine. But the real star is wormwood. Yep, the main ingredient is absinthe. It adds this sharp, bitter, almost hallucinatory kick. It's basically the green fairy in a bottle, daring you to get a little weird. All of that gets instantly shrouded in a cloud of sacred frankincense smoke. As it develops, it gets even greener and wilder with galbanum resin. But the dry down is where the beautiful chaos really lands. Scorched birch tar gives you a powerful, smoky leather scent that is exactly like the dying embers of a bonfire in a wet forest. Patchouli brings the dark earth, and a little Palo Santo adds a final holy whisper. Wearing poltergeist is like turning your personal force field up to 11. It's for when you want your presence to be felt long before you enter a room. For those gothy ghouls, this isn't a sad girl romance. This is a feral, chaotic, knock shit over side of your personality. It's the scent of a glorious disaster. Nosferatu. And now for the grand finale, the master of all masters, Nosferatu. Oh yeah, they went there. Named for the 2025 Eggers film that took inspiration from the 1922 film, both of the same name, that basically invented the vampire aesthetic. This is pure goth romance, folks. Let's be clear. We're not talking about some sparkly, lovesick teenage vampire BS. No, this is old school, creepy Count Orlok. The smell of damp castle stone, wilting flowers, and the tragic weight of immortality. Heretic wanted it to smell like an encounter with an apparition in the cold, damp caves of Count Orlok's castle, and it is hauntingly gorgeous. The scent is a masterpiece of contrast, mixing delicate flowers with deep, earthly, almost dirty notes to create something both beautiful and unsettling. It opens with lilac and petrichor, that incredible smell of rain on dry earth. It immediately sets the scene, a storm over a graveyard. Paired with lilac, a flower tied to graveyards and first loves. It paints a picture of wet blossoms on a stone tomb. It is tragically beautiful. Someone online nailed it when they called it the smell of raindrops on a tombstone covered in moss. I mean, come on. As it wears, you get cool, powdery, violet, and earthy orris root, which smells like ancient paper or dusty velvet. But the dry down, oh my God. This is where it gets freaky. A base of laudanum, oud, and vegan ambergris. Dark, sensual, and slightly primal finish. The laudanum is rich, the leathery resin is superb, and the oud is deep and hypnotic. And the ambergris adds this weirdly alluring saltiness, like cold skin or the ocean crashing against castle rocks. Spraying on Nosferatu is like mainlining a gothic novel. It plugs you right into the romantic vampire archetype, sensual, tragic, beautiful, and lonely as hell. It's proof that darkness is beautiful and sadness can be romantic. This scent is pure, unapologetic goth elegance, and the smell of a midnight rendezvous and the beautiful tragedy at the heart of it all is so breathtakingly wonderful. So, my dive into Heretic Perfume isn't just about finding cool perfumes. It's about finally finding a brand that speaks my spiritual language. I've had Haxan, the quiet witch, Poltergeist, the noisy ghost, and Nosferatu, the cold, dark vampire man-friend. Each one tells a story that resonates with a different facet of my gothic soul. They're complex, they're challenging, and they are completely, unapologetically themselves. What I love most is that the brand encourages you to layer them, so you can go from being a customer to being your own weird little scent alchemist. A base of Nosferatu's damp earth with a spritz of Haxan's ancient amber. Now you smell like a cursed relic you found in a crypt, and I love it. This is what fragrance should be, people. It's not about hiding who you are. It's about cranking the volume up until the neighbors complain. It's about finding the notes and the stories that feel like home and wearing them like invisible armor. For me, these scents are a daily ritual now, a way to connect with my dark romantic side and the powerful parts of me as well. Now I want to hear from you. And please, I'm not judging anybody who wears any of the so-called everyday scents that I might have mentioned in the beginning of this episode. I want to hear your go-to signature scents, whether they be crazy or everyday, from Heretic or any other brand that just gets it for you. Spill the tea or the blood in the comments below. Let's build a whole encyclopedia of delicious darkness together. If you enjoy this dive into Gothic perfumery, give this video a like and subscribe for more trips into the shadows. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to follow and subscribe on all platforms, of course, especially this one. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.